Hey, Pastor Phil here with you. Hope you're doing well. It's kind of a warm day here in good old T-Town. Wanted to share with you again as we're looking at our theme for this coming week. It's going to be that of rest. And so many times it seems like rest is just a luxury that we don't often afford ourselves that opportunity. We're so busy. Everybody that I know is running here and there, even people who I know who have retired. They're extremely busy. They say they've even gotten busier since they stopped working. And I can believe that because when you're working, you sort of have a structure in your life. When you're not working for a living, let's say, for your job, it's easy to kind of just fill everything up and maybe overcommit. And so our theme this week as we look at our 7 habits of a highly successful Christian, or maybe even 7 characteristics that we can try to develop as we are aware of them. This week, we're going to look at the attribute of rest. So, a couple of weeks ago on September 7th, we looked at the characteristic of forgiveness. Then we looked last week at the characteristic of giving thanks in all things, which is always a challenge, but it can be done. And then this next week on September 21st, we'll be looking at the attribute of rest. And so many people, that is the last thing they want to do. And sometimes we keep busy just to keep ourselves occupied because really we just can't hardly stand being either in a quiet place, or we don't want to be around a situation where all we can do is really just sort of deal with things that we would just as soon not deal with, which is why we're staying busy in the first place. So rest is a very beneficial time for us because it pulls us out of all of these things that are keeping us so busy that we're really missing out oftentimes on those things that are the most important in our lives. And then all of a sudden we wake up one day and we go, wow, I need some changes in my life, but I've gotten off track and it's just hard to get back on track. And I think rest will do that for us. In the Gospel of Mark, I believe it's chapter 6, Jesus tells his disciples, come away by yourselves with me and get some rest. And Jesus was always practicing rest. He did so much, but he also demonstrated in his life what it meant to get that rest. And I think that example is also something that God had shown us in the creation story, where on the 7th day he rested. Interestingly, Adam and Eve, on their very first day, because they were created on the 6th day, their very first day was actually the day of rest. So I think rest is not something that we do when we get around to it, but it needs to be a priority that we always exercise in our lives. Hey, hope to see you again real soon. Again, Pastor Phil.